Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Snowman1999 here, and I hope you boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen are having a fantastic day today. And today, I want to show you, ladies and gentlemen, how you can go ahead and build cheese from the show Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. If you could, just go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. You would need sandstone, brown concrete, light gray, green, red, black, and go ahead and grab some dark gray. Go ahead and start with one brown concrete, one sandstone, and one brown concrete. And then let's bring our sandstone, hang it by one to our right, and hang it by one to our left as well. But to our right, let's do one brown concrete at the very end. Let's go ahead and hang it by four. So that's three. There we go, four. Then right here, let's do brown, just like this. Now let's hang our sandstone by two to our left. And then for our next row, let's just hang it by three, just like that. And then let's go ahead and just connect this together, just like this. Alright, come where we got our brown concrete here. Let's go one block down. And right here, let's go up. And right here, let's just place a brown concrete. Now, let's bring our sandstone down to the end, just like this. And going to our right, let's do two sandstone, one brown concrete, and one green, just like this. Alright, for our next row, let's start down here. And on this third block, let's go and place a brown concrete. Let's do two sandstone, just like this, and then do a light gray. Alright, go ahead and skip four. And right here, let's just do two sandstone. And now, going up right here, let's do one sandstone. And then right beside of it, let's do one red concrete. Starting right here, let's do two sandstone, just like this. Let's do one going up as well. And then right here, let's do a red concrete. Alright, so right on top of our red concrete, let's do two sandstone, just like this. Alright, let's go ahead and just build this up some, our sandstone. Let's build this side up to the same height just for right now. Okay. Whoops. Let's go ahead and count up from our light gray, 3 blocks. 1, 2, 3. And on this third block, let's do a red concrete right there. Let's go ahead and place down 4 brown concrete going up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like this. And then right here, let's place a green concrete. Go ahead and break this out. And let's place another brown concrete. Just like this. And let's bring this other side up to the same height, just like this. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and hang this by one. Let's do a brown concrete. And then let's just bring down our sandstone to the end, just like this. Okay, for our next row, let's hang our sandstone by one again. And then let's bring this down and hang it by two. Let's go ahead and start here. Let's hang it by one, just like this. Let's do a light gray. Let's go ahead and do a brown concrete diagonal. Place one going down. Right beside of our brown, let's do 2 sandstone, just like this. Let's do another one going down. Let's do a brown concrete here. Right beside of our brown concrete, let's do 2 sandstone going up. Let's do one going to our left and one going up. Let's go up on top of our sandstone, just do 2 red concrete. Let's do 2 brown going down, just like this. Let's do brown concrete, 1 dark gray, 1 brown concrete, and 1 red concrete. Okay, let's come right here. Let's do a row of sandstone. Stop it right there. Let's do a dark gray, 1 brown, and then go ahead and connect our sandstone to the end. Let's go ahead and start underneath our dark gray. Let's do 2 sandstone going down, and then bring your sandstone down and stop it with 1 block left, just like this. And right beside of our light gray here, let's do 2 sandstone. Alrighty. Now, let's bring our block of sandstone down and just stop it with with a block hanging. Let's go ahead and come right here. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4 brown going down, and then finish it with 1 red at the very bottom. Let's go ahead and bring our sandstone down till it's a block lower past our red. Let's come right here. Let's do 3 sandstone going down. Okay, let's come back to our brown concrete here. Let's do 1 red right here. Let's do 3 sandstone, just like this, and make sure it sticks out by 2 blocks. Let's do a brown concrete right there. Come right here. Let's do a green concrete. 2 brown going down, just like this. Let's do a sandstone, 1 red concrete, just like this. And right beside our brown, let's do 2 sandstone, 1 red concrete, just like this. And then let's come right here. Let's do 2 sandstone, just going up like this. Let's do a brown concrete. Then let's do a red concrete diagonal. Then let's do a sandstone right there. Okay, so far, ladies and gentlemen, we have something that looks like this. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and start back right here. And let's bring our sandstone down to the very end, just like this. For our next row, let's do the same thing. Bring our sandstone down to the end, just like this. For our next row, let's start right here. Let's do a green concrete, 1 light gray. Then let's bring our sandstone down to the very end. Right beside of our light gray, let's just do the same thing. Bring our sandstone down to the end. For our next row, let's do the same thing. Bring it down to the end. For our next row, do the same thing. Just bring it down to the end. For our next row, let's go ahead and do the same thing. Just like this. For our next row, let's bring our sandstone down to the end. And then place down one brown and one red on top. Just like this. For our next row, just simply bring our sandstone down to the end. Let's do a red concrete right here at the very beginning. And then bring our sandstone down to the very end. For our next row, just do the same thing, starting here. Bring our sandstone down to the end. Okay, now let's go ahead and start back here again, but bring it down and stop it with one block left. Just like that. For our next row, let's start right here. Bring it down. And let's stop it with, well, just stop it at the very end. For our next row, let's do a brown concrete right there. Then let's come right here and just bring it down to the very end. Alright, next row, start back here and just bring it down. Stop it with the red concrete. Just like that. For our next row, let's start with a red concrete. Actually, no, let's do a brown concrete right there. Then let's bring down our block of sandstone to the end, just right there. For our next row, let's come back to our brown, and right here, let's do another brown. And then let's bring our sandstone down to the end. Let's do the same thing for our next row. Bring it down to the end. Let's see. For our next row, let's start right here. Just bring it down to the end. For our next row, let's do the same thing. Just bring it down to the end. And then, ladies and gentlemen, let's start right here and just bring it down to the end. And then let's do 2 more rows on top of sandstone. Just like that. That's perfect. Now, right here, let's do 4 brown going up, just like this. Let's go ahead and bring our sandstone up to the same height as our brown concrete. Just like this. And for our next row, let's bring our block of sandstone down and then stop it with a brown concrete at the very end. For next row, let's bring our sandstone down, stop it right on top of our brown. For the next row, we want to hang our sandstone by 1, just like this. For our next row, let's do a brown concrete right there. And then let's bring our sandstone down to the end. Next row, let's start right on top of our brown concrete and then bring it down to the end, just like this. For our next row, let's hang it by one, just like this. And then bring it down to the end and hang it by one, just like this. Okay. For our next row, let's start back right here. Bring it down, hang it by one. For the next row, let's start with a diagonal brown concrete right there. And then bring down our sandstone to the end and hang it by one, just like this. Alright, for our next row, go ahead and start on top of our brown. Let's bring down our sandstone and then hang it by one. For our next row, let's do a sandstone hanging. Bring it down to the end and hang it by one, just like this. Now we are going to start again. Make sure our sandstone hangs by one, and then bring our sandstone down to the end, hang it by one. Alright, now for the next row, let's just do the same thing. Hang it by one, bring it down to the end, and make sure it hangs by one. Okay. For our next row, let's do the same thing. Hang it by one, and then bring it down to the end and hang it by one as well. Just like this. Okay, now let's start back. Let's start right on top of here and just bring our sandstone down. Let's hang it by one again, and just like this. Okay. For our next row, let's do a sandstone hanging by one. And then let's bring our sandstone down and hang it all the way down. Hang it by one. For our next row, let's do the same thing. Start with the sandstone hanging, bring it down, hang it by one. Okay, for our next row now, let's do a sandstone hanging. Let's bring down our sandstone. And then let's place down a block of brown concrete. Well, actually, no, let's do red concrete at the very end. Okay, for our next row, let's do sandstone hanging. Bring it down all the way to the end and hang it by one, just like this. Right, for our next row, let's do some sandstone hanging And then let's bring it down. Stop it right over top of this sandstone down here. Okay, right there. And then let's place a brown concrete. Alright. So now, okay. Let's go up right here. Let's do a sandstone. Then let's do a brown concrete right there. And then let's bring down our sandstone all the way and stop it over top of our brown concrete. Then let's place another brown right there at the end. Alright, for our next row, let's do a diagonal brown, just like this. And then let's bring it down, our sandstone, and hang it by 1. Just like that. For our next row, let's do another brown diagonal concrete. Then let's just bring our block of sandstone down to the end, just like that. Alright. For our next row, let's do a diagonal red concrete. And then let's bring down a block of sandstone and just hang it by 1. Just like this. For our next row, let's start right over top of our red concrete and let's bring it down and hang it by 1. Hang it by, there we go, 1. So I will back up, ladies and gentlemen, and show you what we have so far. We have something that looks like this. Looks pretty huge, I know. But luckily, we are almost done. Okay. Let's start right here. Let's do a diagonal sandstone. Let's do 1 on top, just like that. And then let's bring down our sandstone and just hang it by 1 again. This is gonna hopefully not be too much bigger. There we go. Alright. Alright, for our next row, let's just bring this down to the end. And then let's place a brown concrete at the very end. Just like that. For our next row, let's do a block of sandstone, hang it by 1. Let's see. Now let's bring our block of sandstone down and stop it right over top of our brown concrete. Just like that. Alright. Now let's start with a red concrete right there. And then let's just bring our sandstone down to the end. Okay. For our next row, let's go ahead and do, starting right on top of our red concrete, let's do our sandstone down to the end, and then just hang it by 1. There we go. Okay. For our next row now, let's just bring it down and stop it right over top of the sandstone. Stop it at the very end, just like this. For our next row, let's do a diagonal brown. Let's place 1 on top, just like this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to start where we got our, let's see, start where we got our brown concrete right here. So you see it all the way back down here. Let's go up from there, go all the way back up, and let's do 2 green concrete just right there. As you can see, it is in line with that brown concrete down there. Now let's do 1 red, 3 light gray, let's do 3 sandstone, 4 green concrete, and just bring your block of sandstone down to the end, just like that. And then you just go ahead and bring your sandstone down to the end on this side as well. There we go. So right beside of here, first let's come back down here where we got our green concrete. So let's see. Let's see here. Alright, go ahead and count 5 sandstone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on this 5th block, on this 5th block, let's do 1 green concrete, 4 brown concrete, and 1 green. Then you can bring your block of sandstone down to the end, just like this. Okay, now let's come back down here to our sandstone. Go ahead and count 3. 1, 2, 3. And on this 3rd block, let's do 2 green concrete. Go ahead and let's fill this in with our sandstone down just like that. Alright, let's bring our sandstone down to this end as well. Then let's place a light gray at the very end. Okay. For our next row, so let's start back right here where we got our green concrete. Let's go ahead and count 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. And on this 4th block, let's do 2 brown, one green, just like this. And just bring your sandstone down to the end. Okay, now let's come back to our 2 green concrete here. Let's go ahead and count. Go ahead and count 4 sandstone. 1, 2, 3, 4. And on this 4th block, let's place 1 green concrete. Then let's fill this in with our blocks of sandstone all the way down, just like this. Okay. Let's come to a light gray. Let's do 4 brown, just going straight up, just like that. And then let's fill this in. Okay, now let's move on to our next row. Let's come back to our green concrete right here. Let's do 1 light gray and 2 brown, just like this. And then let's bring our block of sandstone down to the end. And then go ahead, ladies and gentlemen, and bring your sandstone all the way down to the end. There we go. For our next row, let's start right here. We got our 2 brown concrete. Let's do 1 green, 1 brown, and then let's do 3 sandstone. And now, ladies and gentlemen, just bring your sandstone down to the very end. Whoops, okay. There we go. For our next row, let's do 1 brown. Let's do 2 light gray, just going up like that. And let's place a sandstone. Okay, I want you to come where we got our green concrete right here. Go up from it. And let's place 1 green concrete. And then go ahead, fill this in with your sandstone. And then let's come back to our green here. Go over to the 2nd green concrete, so this one. Go up from it, and let's place a green concrete. Then fill this in with sandstone. Then going to our right, go ahead and fill this in with sandstone as well. There we go. Okay, let's start right beside of our light gray. Do 2 brown going up, and just like that. Okay, right here we got our green concrete. Let's do light gray, 1 brown, and 2 light gray. And then bring your sandstone down to the end, just like this. Right beside of our light gray, let's do 2 sandstone, 1 light gray, and then let's come right here to where our green is. Let's do a light gray on top. Going to our left, which let's do 2 dark gray. Let's do 1 green, and go ahead and fill this in with your blocks of sandstone. Okay. Right beside of our light gray, do 2 sandstone. Let's do light gray up right there. Okay, wait a minute, go back guys, 1 minute. So right beside of our light gray right here, let's do 3 dark gray going to our right. And then just bring your sandstone down to the end. Okay. For our next row, let's start back where we got our brown concrete. Let's go ahead and start right here next to our light gray. Let's do 1 light gray, 1 dark gray, and 1 light gray. Just like that. Then let's fill this in with sandstone. And then let's go ahead and get out our white concrete. I do not have any, so let me get some. Okay, let's go ahead and do 3 white, 1 light gray, 2 dark gray, 1 light gray, and then let's come down here where we got our green concrete. Let's do 1 light gray, 1 dark gray, and 1 light gray. Then let's go ahead, fill this in with sandstone. And then let's come from our dark gray. Let's do 1 dark gray. Let's do 1 light gray, 2 sandstone, and then 1 green concrete. Go ahead and just bring down your sandstone to the end. And then right here in this middle, just fill this in with white concrete. For our next row, let's go and do 1 light gray on top, followed by 1 dark gray right beside of it. Then let's bring our light gray down, just like that. And then let's place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 white concrete. And then on top of our light gray, let's do 1 dark gray and 1 light gray. Okay, let's come back right here, and starting right on top of our light gray, let's do 1 dark gray and 1 green concrete. And then fill this in with sandstone. Okay, let's go ahead and come back to our light gray, do 1 right there, and let's fill this in with our white concrete. Right beside of our light gray, let's do 1 green, and then let's fill this in with our sandstone down to the end. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to our next row. Let's come back up here. Let's see. Okay, let's come right on top of our dark gray. Let's do 1 light gray and 1 dark gray, just like this. And then let's bring our sandstone down to the end, just like that. And then let's come down here to where we got our light gray. Let's do 2 dark gray, just like that. And then fill the rest of this in with our white concrete. Alright. Right beside of our dark gray, let's place a light gray. Then right on top of our green concrete, let's place a black concrete. And then let's place 3 sandstone in the middle. Alright, let's come to where we got our green concrete. And then on top of your green, let's do 2 light gray concrete, just like that. And then fill this in with our white concrete. Just like this. Now, let's go ahead and bring our sandstone down to the end. Alrighty. For our next row, Let's go and place a sandstone right on top of our dark gray. Let's do another dark gray beside of it. Then just place your sandstone down to the end. Now, let's go ahead and bring our white concrete down. Stop it right there. Then, let's do a light gray, one black, two sandstone, one green. Then all the way down here where we got our light gray, let's place one right there. And let's fill this in with our white concrete. Then, right here, we just want to bring this down, stop it with one block left. Alright, let's do a light gray on top of our dark gray. Let's do a brown concrete at the very beginning. Let's fill this in, just like this. And then let's come back to where we got our black concrete right here. Let's place one dark gray. And now, just simply, let's fill this in with our white concrete. Okay, going to our right. Let's do two sandstone, one light gray. Let's bring our white concrete down. Stop it over top of our light gray. And then let's do two dark gray right there. Then let's bring our sandstone down to the end. Alright, let's come right here and let's place down four brown concrete going straight up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go ahead and bring our sandstone over, just like this. Now let's bring our white concrete. Let's bring our white concrete down, stop it right over top of our dark gray. Let's do two dark gray right there in the middle. Let's do one white concrete, two brown concrete right there. And then let's bring our white concrete down, stop it at the end, just right there. And then let's bring our sandstone down to the end. So I'm going to back up, ladies and gentlemen, and show you what we have. We have something that looks like this. We are nearly done. Just a little bit more. Okay, now let's come right here. Let's place a brown concrete. Fill this in with sandstone. Okay, let's come back to our two dark gray blocks. Let's place two black on top of it. Let's fill this in with our white concrete. Alright, right beside of our black, let's do one white. Two more brown on top right there. And let's fill this in down to our dark gray. Okay. Now, on top of our dark gray concrete here, let's do three light gray going up, one dark gray, and one light gray. Just like this. And then right here, let's place a brown concrete. And then let's fill this in with our sandstone. Okay, right here, just fill this in with sandstone. Okay, let's come back down to our black concrete. Let's do two more black on top. Going to our left, let's do one light gray, two brown, And then just fill this in with your white concrete. Right beside of our black concrete, just bring down our white to the end. And then just bring down your block of sandstone, stop it with one block left. Alright, for our next row, let's do a brown concrete right there. Fill this in with sandstone. Then let's do a brown concrete right there. Go ahead, fill this in. Now going to our right, let's do 2 red, 2 black, and just bring down our white concrete to the end. And then right beside of it, let's bring down our sandstone, stop it with one block left. Just like that. Okay, starting for our next row, right on top of our brown, let's do 2 green concrete, just like that. Then just place 3 sandstone. Right on top of our brown, right here, let's do a light gray. And then you can just fill this in with white concrete. Let's do a brown concrete right there. 1 light gray. 2 black concrete. Then let's bring our white concrete down to the end. Just like that. Then down here in the end, let's place a brown concrete. And then you can just fill this in with sandstone. For our next row, just bring your sandstone down. Make sure it hangs by 1, just like that. Then let's bring our white concrete all the way down. Stop it right on top of our light gray, just like that. And then let's do 2 dark gray. And you can go ahead and bring your white concrete down to the end. And now let's bring our sandstone down, stop it with 1 block left. Okay. Now, starting here, let's do 2 red concrete going to our left. Do 1 on top, 1 going to our left again. Do it again, 1 going up, 1 to our left. Let's do it one more time, just like this, and then finally just place 1 at the very top. Alright, right on top of our sandstone right here, just place a light gray. Go ahead, fill this in with sandstone. Then let's bring our white concrete down just like this. Now on top of our dark gray, place 2 sandstone. Right beside of it, 1 dark gray. And then come down here where we got our light gray. Go diagonal from it right here. Let's do 2 light gray just going up. Go ahead and fill this in with white concrete. And then let's do a red concrete right there. Fill the rest of this in with sandstone. Now let's do 2 more red going to our right beside of it. Starting at this middle red concrete, just do 3 more red going up. Going to our right. Okay, go diagonal from this light gray. And let's place 1 brown concrete here. Do 2 more beside of it. Let's do a sandstone in the middle. 1 light gray beside of it. Let's place a dark gray where we have these first 2 white concrete. And let's place a dark gray right there. Go ahead and let's fill this in with white concrete. Then let's do our 2 blocks of sandstone, 1 red concrete. Actually, no, let's do a brown concrete. Then let's fill the rest of this in with white concrete. Then let's bring our sandstone down, stop it with 1 block left, just like this. For our next row, let's do a sandstone, a light gray diagonal. Bring it down, stop it with 1 sandstone left. Right on top of our dark gray, let's do 1 brown concrete. Do a light gray going to our left. Then let's fill this in with our white concrete. Now let's do 3 sandstone, 1 brown concrete. Let's do a light gray right there. And then let's fill this in. Let's place a light gray right here and fill the rest of this in. Alright, moving up. Let's do another light gray right here. Bring your sandstone down, stop it with 1 block left. Let's place another light gray diagonal right there. Fill this in. And then let's do a dark gray. Bring your sandstone down just like this. Place a brown concrete. Let's do another light gray diagonal right there. Let's do a white right beside of it. Go ahead, fill this in with your white concrete. Now just place 3 sandstone right beside of it. Alrighty, for our next row, let's do a green concrete right there. Place 2 sandstone beside of it. Now going to our right, let's do two sandstone, 1 light gray, 1 sandstone, 4 white concrete, and then 1 light gray and 1 dark gray. Let's bring down our sandstone, stop it over top of our brown concrete, and then let's place down 2 light gray, 4 white concrete, 2 light gray, and let's just bring our sandstone down, stop it with 1 block left. For our next row, let's start right here, do brown concrete, 2 red concrete, 2 more on top, do 1 and 1 going to our left. Let's do 1 going up, 2 going to our left, 1 going up, and 1 going to our left. Just like that. Okay, now let's come all the way down here. Let's place, let's see, let's come down here where we got our white concrete, and on the second one, let's do a light gray right there. Go ahead and let's fill this in with sandstone all the way down to the very start, just like that. And then let's place a brown concrete right there and fill the rest of it in with sandstone. Alright, let's go ahead and skip one. And right here, place a brown concrete. Alright, let's come back down here. Let's place another brown concrete on top. One red concrete. One brown. And then just bring your block of sandstone all the way down to the end. Alright, going on top of our brown concrete here. Let's do one red, one brown. Going up, do diagonal red, one right beside of it, and one going up. Alrighty. So we are going to count 3. 1, 2, 3. And on this third block, let's place a brown concrete. Then let's bring our block of sandstone down and stop it where you got one block left, just like that. For our next row, let's go ahead and count. Let's see. No, let's start right here. Let's do 3 red concrete. And then come where we got our light gray right here. Go up from it and place 1 red concrete. And let's go ahead, fill this in with sandstone. Alright, now we go up from right here. Let's do 2 red, just like this. 1 going up, 1 brown concrete beside of it, and 1 red concrete. Now, let's come right here where we got our light gray and our dark gray. Go up from it. Go up from our light gray. Let's do 3 brown concrete. Let's do 4 blocks of sandstone. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 4 blocks of brown concrete. And then 2 red. Let's do 2 more rows of red on top. And then guys, to finally finish it off, let's just place 2 red concrete right there. And there we have done it, ladies and gentlemen. We have finished Cheese from the show Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this was a pretty massive build. So if you could, just go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, as it would help me out. And it lets me know that you enjoy doing these big pixel art builds just like this. As you can see, we have done a lot of stuff. And I have a lot more stuff coming for you, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, go ahead and comment down below if this video has helped you guys out. And if it was easy to follow along. Because this was so big, man. Whew. That was a massive build. But I ain't gonna lie, that looks nice. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been me, Snowman1999 here. I love you all to death. Stay safe out there. And until the next video, I am signing out. Peace out.